Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about food pollution related problems that's currently prevalent in India and in different parts of India. Different kinds of food pollution problems are prevalent that needs to be solved based on regional factors, people working in those industry, their related factors, the kind of training people get in the food industry or hospitality industry, the factors influencing that. Then also there are factors that determine poor delivery of hospitality industry services if the employees themselves are least bit concerned about the kind of work they do, or they are not educated about the impact of the work they are doing, or even if they are educated and concerned people who work in a particular industry, sometimes despite their having good awareness or better awareness, they could have bosses who don't have the right awareness or bosses who are unethical. That adds to food health harm globally at multi levels, not simply in India but even internationally. Now, first, I'll talk about the simplest international experience that I have had. Being an international traveler for at least 13 years of my life. When I lived in US, I used to travel to US and India. Used to travel in certain places which are under US territories but may not be under direct US control, so I had to fly there, like Hawaii and Puerto Rico. So even though I have flown to Hawaii, Puerto Rico, lived in US and traveled from US to India, also while traveling from US to India, I had to either take flights via Europe or take flights via Asia. So because of which either the flights would land somewhere in a European country like Netherlands or Germany or England. The England flight didn't happen to me, but I had one time purchased an England flight. Similarly, I had flights that went through Middle East areas as well. Occasionally, I had flights that have gone through Korea, gone through China, gone through some other Asian countries. Right now, I'm forgetting, but I used to travel via Cathay Pacific and Singapore Airlines. And of these different airlines that I took, I have even flown Emirates, I have flown KLM Airlines, I've flown Air India. So after traveling via all these international ones to India, of which I think Cathay Pacific and Singapore Airlines, when I used to travel almost 2 decades back, at that time they had good food and good customer service. Right now, I don't know what's going on with those airlines. But when I traveled via Emirates, which also has good customer service, the problem with most airlines is many airlines, at least the time I did fly through them, doesn't mean that always you will have good customer service or always I had good customer service via all these flights. But sometimes the air hostesses and stewards were really nice and sometimes they weren't cooperative at all. But in all these travels, what happened was the main thing that related to food pollution that first came into my attention as a constant traveler was that I do not like airline food. Most of the airline food has fungal content, high mold content already present in them, and has been present in these airline foods in international flights as well as Indian flights. And India, I have traveled SpiceJet, Indigo, Akasha Airlines, again Indian Airlines. These are the four I remember right now traveling via. And even in all these airlines, the same problem in the national flights, and there are some other additional airlines I have flown in while traveling within the US or US territories. And all these airlines had this common problem of having fungal contamination or mold contamination in airline food. And there is a very logical reason for why mold or fungus will be prevalent in airline food, because the way in which the systems that they have for heating the food, storing the food, they do not have good airing, good conditions prevalent in the way the airline body of a airplane has been structured, because of which, because there's no airflow, there's no ventilation, and people who have been designing airplanes or trains or even homes currently for humans, they have been designing it in a completely health unsafe manner, because Most these industries are ruled by engineers and architects who have zero connection to what is the need and safety and health need for children, women, sick people, what needs to be prevalent in anything that we provide to consumers as part of a business model that takes care of people's health and considers people's individual specific health specific factors. And because men typically over the years for centuries have ignored certain things about human health and healthcare, right now earth is at a stage of evolution where if men don't become aware, if even women who have started becoming like these unaware men don't become aware about the health harms prevalent when certain wrong practices are done, then we are adding more to health harm of everyone globally, and that health harm which is getting continuously added to people's lives is eventually causing a sicker and sicker, mentally sick, emotionally sick, physically sick society. Because mental sickness can arise from having microbial contaminations in our food, which impacts first our gut, and from the gut, when this food is eventually traveling to our brains, it impacts our brain functions as well, and all of these combined then impact someone's physical to mental health status. And if you are not physically fit or mentally fit already, if you are a sick society and you're continuously becoming sicker, you also can't function as a responsible, clarity filled, healthy human being who is going to do some mindful work in their home life or personal lives, which is a major social health problem, physical health problem, emotional health problem, behavioral health problem, as well as professional work life problem. And to top it all off, if a sick society continues to exist, there are certain segments of the population who are antisocial personalities who do not care completely about any other human except themselves. And these antisocial personalities then fall through the cracks of all these legal and workforce related or home related mismanagement or problem zones that a home is facing or a workforce is facing. And at that time, these antisocial people get away even with murder of people or deliberately causing harm of people, which needs to stop. Because do we want a healthy society, or do we want a continuously repeating cycle of poor health happening to people? If you were only having a instant death, that is a mercy to many people who have instantly died. But there are very few people in my own family only, except my mother and my grandfather, who had instant deaths within a few days or within a few days of what caused their death primarily. But there were major other factors that led to their death, because they were slowly getting sicker from the poisoning, deliberate as well as unconscious poisoning happening in their lives, which is what is happening to everyone. But these two people died sooner because the instant poison that was given to them caused their instant death, and they didn't suffer long term, even though there was some suffering in their before their death for a few years. But it was not the suffering kind where they were going to talk about their health issues. Whereas there are other people who are like cancer patients, organ damage patients, patients with long term chronic illnesses and multiple chronic illnesses. These patients have been suffering for years and years through something where doctors have given them medicine, they have undergone surgery, they take medications regularly, they are constantly on some surgical cycle or medication cycle, but their health harm continues on and on, because people have not been raised to understand what is actually causing health harm, even though complete data about health harm is actually present in the past of all the things people have researched, things people have studied, things people write about, things people present even in health and wellness websites online, even if they are just minor level, just basic bachelor level scientists to PhD level, doctoral level healthcare practitioners or scientists. even though there is a vast majority of the population who work in healthcare, who also work in healthcare related industry like the food industry and hospitality industry, which is mainly about healthcare as well. But the people's perception about all of these industries and what actually supports health is so poor that people do not understand healthcare, what is supportive of health, what is harming of health. And those who do even understand it because they have studied it, some of them are also antisocial personalities or deliberately willing to kill people or harm people for their profit. So all these levels of healthcare problems, hospitality industry problems has to be solved now. If it doesn't get solved, people are going to die, and people are already dying. People have already died during COVID, partly because of all these reasons. Recently I read somewhere in a online website, I see so many online websites, so I don't remember the reference website, but they talked about the fact that there was a airline which is part of Indian Airlines. I don't even remember the company structure right now, because there has been some company takeovers and things like that with Indian Airlines and Air India. So this airlines that was operating in Kerala, which is the main fact I remembered, because there was something related to Kerala health that has been impacting my health as well. That's why I remembered Kerala. I also remembered it's an Indian government run thing. Other than that, I don't remember who owns it partially or fully, other than just the Indian government. But those airline staff, around 700 of that airline staff suddenly got sick. Why? Because even if I haven't traveled in Indian Airlines for a long time, it's been a few years since I traveled in any Indian Airlines flight. I have traveled to Kerala using some other company flights, and in all the different company flights that I have taken in the last 8 years, I have lived in India and traveled in India. In recent years, after COVID, some of the airlines have started automating some of their cleanliness related things. And before the COVID time, when some of the airlines were doing some methods that were health harming, they don't realize how health harm supportive things undergo regularly in a simple 500 seater 200 seater airline, where if the airline has, say, a blockage in their compartment where the poop is stored, and there is a lot of smell of the sewage system because sewage is not completely getting drained off, or whatever the airline does to manage their sewage system, something is wrong in the sewage system and its ventilation. As a result, sometimes you will get sewage smell throughout the airline when the sewage system of the airline is not working. What should the airline actually be doing when the sewage system is not correctly working, or the smell from the sewage system is permeating the entire airline or even some part of the airline? Like if the bathroom is in the front of the airline, then you will get the smell maybe only in the front part. If the bathroom is in the back of the airline, maybe the smell is only restricted to the back part. But despite this, wherever the smell is restricted, either it is in the whole airline or it is only in one section of the airline, what is the protocol airlines have followed that I have observed that always happens when I travel, many a times has happened when I have traveled? The airline air hostess or steward has been trained to freshen the air with air fresheners. And this air fresheners, while they are freshening the air, they are actually health harming to many of the people, including the airline staff who is spraying the air with the air freshener. Because most of the air fresheners are not made by people who are, again, not health informed, not health safe, do not understand the consequences of long term chemical contamination. Because of which this long term chemical contamination of this air freshener spray that is continuously being sprayed by a air hostess, now what started happening was that air hostess is inhaling it and getting sick. But anyone who travels regularly in airlines and airplanes, they are also continuously getting sick from being sprayed by these particulate matter of air freshener particles. If they are spraying it in front of me, I'm inhaling it immediately. Some of it is falling on my skin, right? But if they are doing it when they sprayed the airline before I entered the airplane, where does the microparticles of the spray fall. The microparticles of the spray will be falling in on my airline ceiling, on the baggage compartment area. It may be falling on my seats. It will be falling on the airline floor. And if I am a patient, which I have heavy restless leg syndrome related symptoms happening. I have a cardiac problem, because of which, when in the 25 years that I have traveled via air, in those many years, sometimes when my cardiac health is really bad, I get swelling in my feet. And when I get swelling in my feet, the shoes I am wearing, I can't wear those shoes for a long time, because of which I have to sometimes keep my foot away from the shoes. Basically, I take out it is slightly impolite, but health before politeness is my funda in life. Where if I am having restrictive movements where my foot has swollen and I am not able to withstand that swelling on my feet, I have to take out my foot from my shoes. If I am wearing socks, I'll even remove my socks and keep my foot open. But if my foot is open, or sometimes I've even traveled with open-toed shoes like the chappals and floaters people have. But when chappals, floaters, sandals which are open-toed and not completely covered and restrictive, when I even wear those, if I'm not removing my foot away from the shoes also, problem is all these air fresheners. And it's not simply air fresheners that airlines have now started using. Apart from air fresheners, if you have traveled in Indian trains, they not only use air fresheners, they also use pesticides a lot. And airlines also maybe sometimes use pesticide, though I haven't detected pesticide smell in 99% of the airlines I have traveled. One or two maybe I might have detected, but it could be my memory playing tricks. But definitely air freshener is a confirmed thing that airlines do. And in fact, after COVID, instead of making the air hostess spray it, because maybe some air hostesses stopped spraying it because they realized it's a health harm causing thing. And while they stopped spraying it and started complaining more that fix the sewage system, fix other problems to resolve the actual problem related to this poor smell and poor hygiene in an airplane, airline staff or airline business professionals, airline decision makers are not looking at the root cause of the problem or resolving the root cause of the problem. They think buying a 100 rupees, 500 rupees air freshener solves the problem than investing 5,000 rupees on, or 5 lakh rupees on fixing the sewage system, because I don't know what is the cost of fixing a sewage system problem. But let's assume, because I have hired home plumbers to fix home sewage system problems, I know minimum 5,000, 10,000 can be spent in a plumbing problem, depending on the degree of plumbing problem. And now this is a big airline, so that can be maybe compounded by 10 to 100 times depending on the depth of the problem they have. But instead of fixing a deep rooted problem and spending that 5,000 to 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees on that, they are doing this financial calculation, and a stupid financial calculation. Why? Because people are so stupid in every business related operations currently on earth, and I am pissed off about it. People don't understand their own health harm as well as health harm to others in the guise for just showing profit, which is the stupidity of all humans who just understand profit and loss and nothing else, which is a major, that is also an antisocial personality problem. If you are only looking at finances and don't look at your employees, don't look at the system you have created to generate business from humans. Because if humans are not there, if suddenly say one fine day the 50% or 100% of the earth's population gets replaced by machines, who is going to give you the profit? If there are only 10 humans making profit out of hundreds or millions and billions of travelers traveling globally every year, everywhere, wherever they are going for travel, fun, business, whatever reason they are going for, you are making profit in the hospitality industry from all these billions of humans who are traveling regularly. And if the earth has 8 billion population, 8 times 10 people are traveling regularly on earth, everywhere, using cars, using any kind of different vehicle system that is available on earth currently. But if all those humans now die, those who are operating it as well as those who are traveling in it die, Who are you going to make profit from? Are machines going to give you money for what you are producing? If machines are the only ones available on earth and only one able to exist on earth, because high level of pollution is there on earth. That is the whole problem. You have not focused only on your customer segment benefit, on your own company's future benefit. You don't care only about company's future, which is the antisocial personality or mentally ill personality disorder holding people's bad perspective about just seeing people who are your customers as a number than as a human who has some human needs that you were serving, and you fail to serve that human need. When I'm giving an airline 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 rupees, whatever rupees I'm spending on a flight, be it a cheapest flight, be it the most expensive flight, why am I paying you such money to travel from one place to the other? Am I just paying you the money when I'm traveling on an airplane because I want to go from A to B place with the minimum money and minimum time? No, I'm not simply giving you the money for that. I'm also cutting down your costs of operations of a flight when 50 human beings travel, or 100 human beings, or 500 human beings are traveling via your flights. I'm cutting down your cost of expenditure that per person you will have. And that's how, when say 70 or 100 people are traveling in economy, and 20 people are traveling in business class, yes, the business class population is making you money instantly, but the other population is also making you money from other ways. The other cheaper travelers, even though they are not business class, they also spend money on food, they also spend money on the just traveling through your airlines, and while waiting for your airlines, they're spending so much money in the airline industry when traveling, the food, the retail, everything. And there, what are we paying for? We are paying for the service of traveling. And if in that service only you are causing health harm, are you sabotaging people's health and you're taking money for a service that you're not providing? Because what is service? Customer service or business, any kind of business, has to provide the right product to the customer, not simply just whatever makes money and you provide that. No, you have to provide service, and that service is missing. The element of service has started getting missing from humans, because service oriented humans only can't be born on earth if only material takers are appreciated for everything. If anyone is service oriented, there are many humans who are service oriented, but their service oriented thing only is not getting looked into. If that some airline hostesses realize that this is causing health harm, they might have, if they are as mindful as I am and observing health harm on people, and they observe that if I'm spraying, I am also sneezing, these customers are also sneezing, they are mindful. That's why and in COVID, when respiratory illness is going on, they can see that even after wearing masks, some people are suffering. If they have seen all these things, witnessed all these things, and you will witness as I am just a traveler who has traveled only like maximum 50 flights I might have taken in my entire 25 years of life. 50 to absolutely maximum 100 flights I might have taken. But these airline hostesses are daily traveling, daily taking flights. They might have traveled at least 1,000 to more than 1,000 flights. And if you have read Malcolm Gladwell's book about this, anytime you do some work for thousands of hours, you become an expert at it. So even though these airline hostesses never may have had any health related training, the fact that they are women also and are also used to taking care of their health and their family's health, they will naturally use that in their workplace also. It is a natural paradigm. If men don't do it, men are very compartmentalized people. Some men, not all men, I will not blame all men, but there are some men, and actually majority men, and some women who are compartmentalized like this. They don't use what education they are doing, what work they are doing in their home life, because everything, if you are a balanced human being, if you are a aligned human being, your left brain and right brain activities will always merge. Your logical skills and intuitive skills will always blend and merge. So what you learn in your work life influences what you do in your personal life. What you learn in your personal life should influence what you do in your work life. Those who are the balanced human being, whose left brain, right brain are balanced and merged and aligned, they will consciously, continuously do this in their life. But those who aren't balanced and aligned, those who are very, very structured and only logically oriented, and they either deliberately kill their intuition, or they have mental and social illnesses that have killed the cells in their body only that should align their left and right brain activities. These people now fall in two categories: either those who are only looking at the logic of aspect of things, don't look at things intuitively, ignore actually, and that's why I said they are stupid people. They're ignoring the long term consequence of the business decision they made, thinking that if I give them 500 air sprays also, that will still cost me less money than spending 5 lakh rupees on something else. This is the logic they are using, where they are completely forgetting the fact that humans are traveling in this plane. Your employees are humans as well. If you continue promoting health harm in everything, because now if you're not managing the sewage problem, you have not managed the food industry mold related problem for decades, because I have observed this food industry related mold related problem in airline food for decades of my life. 25 years I have traveled in airplanes, and I've observed this in 25 years. Every time I travel, there is not a single time I have traveled where there wasn't mold present in some element of the food. And now apart from mold, other funguses have also started appearing in our food, which adds again to the health harm prevalent inside a airplane itself. I have written a post about this, and that post you will have to search on my Facebook page or my LinkedIn page, because I think I have posted it on both these pages. And I have been writing and speaking on these topics for years and years, because I am on the verge of dying if none of these problems get solved. So I have to speak about it. Then that is the only thing left for me to do, because I don't have enough physical health to go and actually work in a particular industry and go and try to solve their entire problem, especially when there are 500 or 10 stupid people governing those industries, who have lost the plot about humanity and their own life and the life of the people they are responsible for. Someone who is a CEO of an airline, if all he cares about is making money from the airline and nothing else, and all he cares about is showing a statement to the government or a private company that this is the profit I am making, and he doesn't care about the health of the customers, doesn't care about the health of the employees itself, what kind of CEO are they? And it is possible that you are not the only CEO who did this problem. 50 years back also some CEO did the problem, and you continued it onwards. But finally, is there going to be one CEO who is going to be criminally charged for criminal offenses that they have supported? Because one day it is going to become a criminal act. One day, if mass amounts of people are impacted, because all these airline workers, if 700 people have fallen sick, these are just the airline workers who have fallen sick. But imagine apart from these, and these got tracked by the airlines. Why? Because finally they woke up that how can 700 people suddenly become sick? They can become sick because every day if they are exposed to poor sewage, if they are exposed to poor mold containing food, if they are constantly, because now airlines have also started automating, because if the airline stewards were mindful and were not spraying as much air freshener, if they were trying to get the airline to solve the sewage problem, mold problem by other sources, and now the airline is not fixing any of these problems, both of which have been chronic problems. The sewage problems I have observed in the last 10 years of traveling, 10 to 15 years, whereas the mold problem I have observed in 25 years of traveling, both in international high class flights to normal Indian local flights, cheapest flights to most expensive flights I have traveled in. And I have been an economy traveler only. I'm not a business class traveler, but it will impact my health even if I was the business class traveler. I would still be getting sprayed by these automatic spraying systems now that have been installed by some airlines. And now the health harm is 10 times more, because a machine is spraying. Machine is not even looking if a baby is there, if my eyes are open, and it will spray on my eyes. Whereas when a human is spraying, human is looking at me, seeing that a human is there, it will not spray anything directly into my eyes unless they are psychos and sociopaths, right? If they are compassionate human beings, they will not spray only on my head. And if they have been told to spray, they will spray only a little bit in the air. That's all they will do. So a human spraying will actually spray less poison. A human spraying will also be mindful of where they are spraying. A human spraying, after having observed where the spraying is causing health harm to some patient or some traveler, they will be reporting it as well if they are mindful people. But if there are no right places only to report these things, what are those airline officials now supposed to do? If you check the first gate point where you should be complaining, where the first gate point where you will be complaining is to your boss. If your boss is unmindful, or even if the boss was mindful, the next level will be the person who maintains the plane. The next level will be the person who has to pay finances for the plane maintenance. But if none of these layer and layer and layer of garbage human beings, because I will call them garbage, because if you don't understand health is the first thing necessary to create any kind of wealth, your brains have lost the plot. Your brains, your reasoning skills, your logic, your intuition, your humanity, everything is lost. You are just simply an insane human being if all you can see is if you don't see in the complaint what is present in that complaint, there is a problem. You have a social health problem. If you don't see in the complaint that if you don't take care of a sewage problem, it is a health hazard for every one of your employees and every person who is traveling in that plane, you have again lost the plot. There is something wrong with your brains if you don't understand sewage problems can impact your gut brain function, even though data about this has been existing for so many decades or years. If you don't understand that moldy food causes food poisoning or other health issues which can also lead to, and if you're not even understanding from all the patients who are traveling and who are suddenly mid-flight having health incidences, who have died mid-flight, when will you wake up? There are so many patient cases also where people have had cardiac arrest, respiratory arrest. How will you get cardiac and respiratory arrest? From these sprayed chemicals on your flight. That also stupid people, that's why you are stupid. You have never consulted a real doctor, never consulted someone who truly understands healthcare as to why people when traveling, all you know is people can collapse, sometimes have collapsed lungs due to air pressure difference. This is the maximum you know. Other than that, you don't know that chemical spraying can also cause death. Chemicals can cause brain, cerebral death. Chemicals can cause cell death. Chemicals can cause respiratory arrest. Chemicals can cause kidney failure. Chemicals can cause liver failure. Chemicals can also cause multi-organ failure. And if any of these 700 people who were your own employees who are getting exposed to these chemicals regularly from the food, from the sewage problems, from the spraying problems, they all have all these diseases now. Someone will be having just minor food poisoning if they were just new employees, or if they are young and healthy employees. But someone who is not young, someone who is not healthy, someone who has been traveling and worked for you religiously for thousands of hours and has been a loyal employee to your company, they all are at a risk for organ damage, cancer, multiple organ failures, some kind of organ damage where now their health can't go back to normal because constantly you have exposed your employees to harmful toxic chemicals, of which the data about harmful toxic chemicals are also prevalent. Airlines also give their employees bright colored clothes. All those bright colors clothes have dyes in them. That is also health harming. You do not care about your employees. You do not care about the service you are providing. Then what kind of business are you operating? Is your business going to fail eventually if the level of incompetency in your whole chain of command is like astonishingly, astoundingly and compoundedly really bad, and has been bad for 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your existence? How many years and how many people and if your previous CEO fucked up and you are also continuing to fuck up, is it going to continue escalating the problem? Now if this airline has 700, and why did this happen in Kerala? Because Kerala government is also doing some stupid stuff. When I went to Kerala, I understood this. They are spraying chemicals constantly on, I'm like my heart was hurting literally and figuratively when I was there in Kerala. It was hurting literally because Kerala has these beautiful trees which have grown in Kerala land for thousands of years possibly, or at least hundreds of years. They have all these tall, beautiful greenery trees. They have beautiful spices. They have beautiful food, all of which getting ruined by constant chemical poisoning done on the water systems, air, by the Kerala government based on some stupid knowledge that they have gathered from some stupid person. because if you are constantly spraying, and it is not just Kerala government problem, but it made me hurt more in Kerala, because so many beautiful trees are now in the verge of dying, because even though hundreds of years back, thousands of years back, these ancestors lovingly planted these trees, grew these trees, developed these trees to create so much green space in Kerala. Despite the percentage of green space being high in Kerala, the percentage of toxicity is higher than the percentage of green space. As a result, since the percentage of toxicity is higher, percentage of deaths are going to be higher there, and it is already started. The earth there is showing that the death trajectory. Where is it showing? In the places where floods have been happening regularly in Kerala. That's where the earth is not able to take the burden of the toxins in the environment, and is trying to cause rains to prevent the burdens from harming everyone. But despite that, the harm is happening, because if you are constantly circulating chemical toxins in your environment, the rains are also polluted, and from that polluted rains, if it is light rain or heavy rain, if there is heightened chemical pollution, if your trees are now weakened, why do floods happen? All these 100-year-old trees, 1000-year-old trees, which had really strong roots to survive hundreds and thousands of years, slowly, even though they have survived 100 years, they had another potential to survive maybe another 100 years. But in those 100 years, the higher the chemical exposure to these trees, and inside their trees, the higher the chemical toxins present in the roots, in their stem, in their leaves, and everywhere. Even though outside they are looking healthy trees, and they are looking healthy because 100 years back there was no earth pollution like this, so that's why structurally foundationally they became very strong. But now the foundation from the earth to the inside of the trees to the outside of the trees, all are getting slowly destroyed by chemical pollution. As a result, all these trees now, the roots, even though the tree has existed for 100 years, the places where the trees are now completely damaged from the roots to the tip, those places are not able to take any more chemical pollution. The roots are falling, the trees are falling. When the trees will fall, when the trees are breaking away from the soil, when the soil is polluted, landslide is happening, flood is happening, everything is washing away, because everything needs to be washed away. Everything is so contaminated and polluted. If those people don't die, if humans in that area continue onwards, more and more disease, more and more horrible kinds of diseases will prevail. So the mercy of the earth is to kill the people. But the even more merciful solution is what? When people will stop polluting the environment to such levels that natural calamities occur. The signs of these floods going to start happening in these areas are prevalent in the trees only, giving you the kind of fruits they are giving, the kind of products they are giving, the taste of the products changing over time, the quality of nutritional content of the products changing over time. All these are indicators when the place is going barren, when a place is going toxic, when a place is going to self-destroy in a few years or few decades. Same way with the airline industry. What I'm talking at the mass scale of a nature doing something wrong, in the airline industry also same thing is happening. The nature of the people who are mindful is to tell you and give you the warning that something is wrong, fix the sewage system, something is wrong. The people who have complained about the food, fix the food problem. But for 20-30 years you have not fixed the food problem. So as a result of the mold poisoning and fungal poisoning, because I found fungus also in the water system of this automatic sprays. So there is fungus now in the sprays, there is mold now in the food, there is sewage and bacterial contamination in the sewage systems. If by chance, apart from the sewage system, there is some cross contamination happening between the sewage pipelines and the food pipelines that give you water and other things to cook the food or to give water to the people, now that cross contamination will be also contaminating your food. So now there are triple threats that are happening to the people who are traveling and the people who are working in this industry. You will have, and you will also now naturally, if you are giving your airline pilot also, everyone who is functioning in that airline is getting wrong food, wrong kind of exposure, which are fogging their brain, which are causing health harm, which are deteriorating their cells, causing cardiac problems, causing stomach problems, causing health problems. Even if in a small flight of 20 staff or 10 staff, even if the 3 crucial staff members now fall sick suddenly while on the flight, You have now put 1500, 500, 200 customers at risk, whoever is flying with you. And then if your flight crashes, who is responsible? Are you responsible or not? Because you didn't give them the right food, you've not given. And it's not that you just didn't give them the right food that day, you didn't give them the right food, right water, right air, right healthy seats to sit on, right clothing to wear. All of these, because you have all these protocols also in airlines, that you have to be fashionable a certain way, you have to wear makeup a certain way, you have to wear hygiene products a certain way. But if none of these products which you're telling them to wear or asking them to buy or specifically guiding them, this is the protocol you have to follow, otherwise you will be fired, all of those also have health harm. I'll make a video on chemical usages, not just in airlines, but airlines is the first industry where this will, airlines or movie industry is first industry where these things are showing up right now. And the airline, because it's more constrictive space, the more constricted the space, then more poorly constructed according to human needs the place is built, the more health harming circumstances present, the level of health harm is higher and higher. Of these 700 employees who have now fallen sick, some have cancer. Definitely, I can guarantee tell you, some have cancer, some have organ damage, some have mold poisoning related mental health issues, some have fungal poisoning related physical health issues, some have chronic health issues from this mold and fungus and sewage and regular chemical dye and chemical spray contaminations. Multiple level of health problems they have. You want to fire them, but after firing them, even the next set of employees who will come, they are going to be frailer and less experienced and even more susceptible to health harm now, because first of all, they are ignorant people. They don't even know the ones who have traveled for 50 years, ones who are near my age, who have traveled, if not worked for 50 years, they have at least worked for 20, 30 years and have enough experiences to know what is the health harm prevalent in their industry. You fire them, go ahead and fire them, but they know where the health harm is and they would have mindfully at least tried to check the health harm in certain points. Whereas a new trainee who has zero clue about where the health harm is, they will merrily go around and work for you at a lower pay, but they will also not care in all the ways that someone is supposed to care. And because they don't know how to care also, what are these employees who are the new employees going to do? They are going to instantly fall sick, because first of all, they didn't get training. The good trainers you have fired because they were complaining. Good trainers you fired because now they are sick. But why were they sick? They were sick as a consequence of the choices you told them to make, or you have given them the guideline to make these poor choices, or you provide them only health harming things in their work environment, for which every airline should be sued currently by their employees. Every single airline. And even after suing also, if none of these, the suing benefit can happen only if you don't just give the employees some money and compensation and good health care after they have fallen sick, but you need to give the right things to the people who are traveling, to the people who have died. And I can guarantee tell you 90% of the people who have died in airlines or mid-flight, they had some health incidences have happened because of the circumstances present right before the flight, in the airport itself, or while they were traveling to the airport. And definitely the last toxin to have harmed them was prevalent in the seat itself, floor itself, air itself of the airline, where they got the cardiac arrest, they got the lung problem, they got the sudden kidney failure or multiple organ failure or something. And some of these people have died also. If you have got multiple organ failure or sudden cardiac arrest, the chances of you not surviving are higher. So their families also have to understand now what has happened to these people when they were dying. And when you're paying all these thousands of money, and as a continuously traveling customer, every airline has at least got even the poorest customer who has traveled like me, and I have also traveled even 50 times now. In despite that 50 times, even 1000 rupees if I had spent more than 1000 rupees in my flights. But say 50 times 1000 is 50,000. But I have not spent only 1000. I have spent lakhs of money in some of these flights when they are international flights. I have spent at least 5,000, 10,000 rupees on some of my flights. Despite that, this is the condition. So 50,000 times 5, or at least 1 plus lakh flights times 10 I have spent on so many travels. Despite all this money I'm bringing to you, what have I got? I have got that level plus 10 times more health harm from traveling with you. Same thing with government. When people are giving government taxes, they are not giving taxes for more health harm. And government officials need to now understand where health harm is, and need to forget what past data they have been taught about false paradigms about health. Because this is a false paradigm of health. If you are spraying air freshener to control a sewage problem smell, and first of all, the smell won't happen if you control the sewage itself. The sewage blockages won't happen if you also control the food related problem. Because if I'm getting food poisoning, immediately I want to go to the bathroom. Now if I go to the bathroom, and if food poisoning is happening not just from the airline food but also from the airport food and water, airline food and water, or even if I am absorbed some toxin via the air spray that you are doing, if it is a fungal spray from the air freshener plus contaminated water that you have used to spray, or you do not even have a good person to tell you when there is fungus, when there is mold. Even if they tell you, you do not do anything to fix the fungus and mold problem. All these problems, whatever is prevalent in a particular airline, that is leading to health harm, every single toxin that a human is getting exposed to while traveling in that airline, what is happening? I will have a stomach upset, because my first reaction of my gut will be whatever got absorbed even via skin, and after the multifaceted ways in which things can get absorbed by my body. It can get absorbed by the food, absorbed by the drink, absorbed by the air contamination exposures, absorbed by my skin touching any surface. Whatever contaminations entered my system, if my system is designed to first reject that poison and my body is healthy, I will want to go and poop. I will want to go and pee out the chemical, poop out the chemical. So your sewage system will naturally be blocked. When there was healthier earth, the sewage system that you have created for airlines is for a healthier earth, where of the 100 travelers traveling, only maybe 1 or 2 travelers would go to the bathroom. But now if food poisoning, and also now what is the third thing? If the poisoning is immediate poisoning also, some people will vomit as well. So these 3 things will happen. They will poop, they will pee, they will vomit. Those who are in a healthy status, they will do it. So out of the 100 customers, if 80 customers are healthy, they will all want to go to the bathroom, and that's why your bathroom is blocked. And while in the operations workflow of a healthier earth, it was okay that between one flight and the other, only 1 hour gap was there, and in that 1 hour gap, you're doing some flight maintenance. Now that is not sustainable. You have to give 2-3 hour gap to clear the sewage system, to ensure that the sewage is properly cleared, to ensure that the pipelines are not cross contaminating each other. All these health and safety protocols, if you don't follow, you are making sicker and sicker employees, sicker and sicker people to travel, and you're worsening your problem. You're continuously going in a feedback loop of worsening of the problem than fixing it the right way. Because you didn't fix it in the right way, that 5,000 rupees or the 5,000 labor hours that you were needing to compensate for fixing this problem, you have not given. Now what you are giving in the future, you have added to 5,000 labor hours plus additional now class action suits, if class action suits have to follow, because this is necessary. Otherwise airline industry apparently is not waking up. And all these CEOs who are getting all these billions of dollars, their money only should be getting funneled back into the airlines again, because otherwise none of these problems will be solved. The CEO monies of not just airlines, every single business has to be accountable for what you have done. And if you have lost the plot, and mentally you are unfit, socially you are unfit, legally you are doing all these unethical practices, and some people are deliberately also doing unethical practices. If already people know that moldy food is present in airlines, let's give them only the moldy food to supply. That also adds to the problem. Some people do that also nowadays. So all these unethical practices, to deliberately unethical practices, to stupid and foolish practices, to deliberately making the conscious choice to make the worst decision possible for your employees and your customers, these should all be held into accountability. And if it doesn't get held into accountability, are people again like COVID? Should people stop traveling and start mindfully traveling while avoiding airlines which are giving them the worst customer experience? Will people even invariably stop doing it? There's a reason why Air India and Indian Airlines started having a customer turnover, and less customers would travel in these airlines. because their personnel were the least bit interested in customer service provision. And then there is a reason why certain airlines are most popularly traveled in, because they do provide customer service. But now the catch is, even though they may provide good customer service, people have to understand what is true customer service. Customer service is not people smiling at you sweetly, speaking with you sweetly, but poisoning you with poor food. That is not customer service. Customer service is not that all the airline personnel looking fashionable and everything, but wearing all these toxic chemicals that are adding to someone's respiratory distress or cardiac distress potential. Customer service is also not airlines continuously spraying our body directly with all this barrage of chemicals, which every single toxin that is getting added to a allergy patient's profile, or a poor cardiac health patient's profile, poor kidney health patient's profile, poor liver health. And are you going to ask every customer to check, do you have liver problem, do you have kidney problem, do you have cancer, do you have allergy? There are so many people who will not know they have allergy to these chemicals until the day this chemical causes them a health harm. You cannot check this because you've not done the right thing. The right way is only to fix the problem in the right ways. The right way is not by spraying chemicals, adding more chemicals, continuously piling on chemicals in the body of your customers as well as in the body of your employees. That is not the right way. It doesn't solve the problem. And there's more to the airline tale, I will tell in the next post. But this is the problem with the food and hospitality industry. What I've described about airlines is also true about restaurant food. I'll make another video about the restaurant food quality related problems, and I hope people will look into this, start thinking about why they are falling sick when they are traveling. It is not simple food poisoning from a bacterial contamination anymore. It can be fungal contamination, it can be fungal infection, it can be allergy related issues, and it can be also indicator of the fact that you might have multiple organ failure or cancer or some major organ damages going on inside your body, which while traveling the added toxin from the airline is indicating to you now that you are in a moderate to really bad health status. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, drop a comment. Thank you.